Hey guys! So I wanted to hop on real quick today and talk about the idea of limiting beliefs from a slightly different perspective. So the idea of limiting beliefs just don't always resonate or doesn't always resonate with everyone for one reason or another. So let's go back a little bit before I introduce this new idea. So thinking about limiting beliefs or just beliefs in general. A belief is just a thought that you have told yourself enough times that you believe it to be true. So it becomes a truth that you live your life by. These beliefs dictate the thoughts we think, the actions we take, the emotions we feel. Really, they dictate all of the things we do in life, how we show up, and who we are. Now, sometimes those beliefs aren't always serving us the best way. They can be negative, they can be counterproductive. That is where the idea of limiting beliefs comes up. So it's great if we can kind of figure out where these negative limiting beliefs are, grab a hold of them, and try to shift them so they can start serving us better in our lives. So, if you've heard the idea of limiting beliefs, but you just haven't really ever understood it, or the idea just really hasn't clicked for you, today I want you to think of it from a different perspective. So, we're going to look at limiting beliefs from the idea of rules. So, think about what rules do you let rule your life? If you had a rule book for yourself and for how you make decisions, for who you are, for the actions you take, the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, what rules would be in that rule book? And of those rules that you let rule your life, which of them are serving you and which of them aren't? Now, these rules can range and they come from a lot of different places. When you let a rule into your life, you're really the only one who's letting that happen, but you're not necessarily the one who created a rule. So rules can come from anywhere. A lot of times they come from family, parents, or other authority figures that have had an influence on your life. They also might come from friends, people you love, your social media feed, or even just media in general, the things that the media is telling you about yourself or about life. And then you kind of extract these rules that others have imposed on yourself and accept them to be truth. So, some common rules might be if I'm successful, people aren't going to like me anymore. Or a lot of times we'll create rules around how much love we're worthy of. Or another really common one is we'll create a rule around how much money we are allowed to make. So we'll look at other people, maybe our experience, our success, and we'll kind of like calculate this number in our head that we think that we are allowed to make. So maybe we think like, well, I can't make more than $50,000. I can't make more than $100,000, whatever it may be. And that becomes a rule that can actually have a really big impact in your life. So when you were born, no one handed you a rule book that said, you can become this, but you can't become that. You can be this, you can't be that. You can feel this, you can't feel that. You were never handed that rule book. The only rules that you've added to your rule book throughout life are the ones you've let in, whether you created them yourself or you accepted them from someone else who created them. So, like I said, if limiting beliefs or the stories you tell yourself, if those ideas haven't really clicked with you before, think about this from the perspective of rules. What rules are you letting rule your life? Which ones are good? Which ones are bad? Which ones could you maybe take a second look at? If you find a rule that isn't serving you as well, don't just try to eliminate it from your rule book. You want to try to shift it in a way that will serve you better. So try to expand that, make it more positive, kind of shift that thought in a way that you're not just trying to eliminate it from your life, but you're more just kind of reworking it and then adding it back into your rule book. There's nothing wrong with having rules, with having beliefs that we live by, but we want to make sure those rules and beliefs are serving us well. So, what rules are you ruling your life? What rules are in your rule book for life? And which of those do you want to start taking a second look at and starting to shift?